Hello, and welcome back to History's Greatest Moments. I'm your host, and today we're going back to the year that shook the world, 1789. The French Revolution didn't just change France, it changed the entire planet. It gave birth to modern democracy, human rights, and nationalism. But it also brought terror, war, and bloodshed that lasted for years. In this video, we'll explore the causes, the explosive beginning in 1789, and the revolutionary ideals that still shape our world today. If you're new here, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new history video. Let's begin. By the late 18th century, France was in deep trouble. The king, Louis XVI, was surrounded by powerful nobles and a powerful Catholic Church. Most people, the peasants and the growing middle class, had almost no rights. The country was divided into three estates. The first estate was the clergy, the second was the nobility, and the third estate was everyone else: peasants, merchants, and workers. The third estate paid almost all the taxes, but they had no voice in government. The king was already in debt from wars in America and his own lavish lifestyle. French farmers were suffering from bad harvests, rising bread prices, and terrible living conditions. Meanwhile, Enlightenment thinkers like Voltaire and Rousseau were spreading ideas of liberty and equality across Europe. In 1788, the royal treasury was empty. The king had no choice but to call a meeting that had not happened since 1614, the Estates General. This was supposed to be a big event, but things quickly turned explosive. May 5th, 1789, delegates from all three estates gathered at Versailles. The clergy and nobility arrived in fancy processions. The third estate? They were ignored and treated like nothing. At the opening, the king proposed voting by estate, one vote for each estate, so the first and second estate would always win. The third estate refused. They wanted voting by head, one person, one vote. Deadlock. On June 17th, the Third Estate declared itself the National Assembly. They met in a tennis court and took the famous oath of the tennis court. We swear not to separate until we have given France a new constitution. The king locked the hall. The deputies moved to a church. More nobles joined. By June 27th, the king finally gave in and accepted the National Assembly as the true government of France. This was the first time the Third Estate had real power. Things were about to get dangerous. On July 14th, 1789, a mob in Paris stormed the Bastille, a medieval prison and fortress. Why? They were hungry, angry, and they wanted weapons and gunpowder. The Bastille only held 7 prisoners, but it was a symbol of royal power. The governor was killed. The fortress fell. For many French people, this was the start of the revolution. Parisians celebrated. The National Guard was formed. King Louis XVI was forced to show the tricolour flag, the future French flag, and move closer to Paris. July 14th became Bastille Day, still celebrated in France as a national holiday. The National Assembly worked fast. On August 4th, 1789, they abolished feudal privileges and special taxes for the nobility. Then, on August 26th, they wrote and adopted the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. This document said everyone is born free and equal. It guaranteed freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to property. It was influenced by the American Revolution and Enlightenment ideas. This became the foundation of modern democracy and human rights. Women played a big role too. In October 1789, thousands of women marched from Paris to Versailles to demand bread and join the revolution. The royal family was forced to move to the Tuileries Palace in Paris. By 1791, the king tried to flee to Austria, but was caught. The revolution had become more radical. The monarchy was overthrown in 1792. A republic was declared. King Louis XVI and his queen Marie Antoinette were put on trial and executed by guillotine in 1793. A new, terrifying invention of Dr. Guillotin that quickly became the symbol of the revolution. The reign of terror followed. Radical groups called the Jacobins ruled with an iron fist. Thousands of people were executed for opposing the revolution. The guillotine became the tool of the state. This period is remembered as one of the bloodiest and most controversial chapters in French history. Despite the terror, the French Revolution changed everything. Feudalism was abolished. The Catholic Church lost its power. A new legal system called the Napoleonic Code was created. France became a secular republic. The ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity spread across Europe and the world. Even though the revolution ended with Napoleon Bonaparte's rise in 1799, its ideas survived. They inspired the American Revolution. The French Revolution's ideals are still quoted today in constitutions and human rights declarations. So what can we learn from 1789? The power of ordinary people when they rise up for their rights. The importance of written constitutions and human rights. And the tragic truth that revolutions can turn violent. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the French Revolution of 1789. If you enjoyed it, like, comment your favorite moment, and subscribe for more history videos every week. Drop a question in the comments. What part of the revolution surprises you most? History's greatest moments, where the past comes alive. See you next time.